Hi everybody! Welcome back to another tutorial video. In this one, I'm going to be talking to you about how I draw eyes, or, well, paint eyes, I suppose. I don't know if you call it drawing or painting. See, when you say painting, people think you mean like traditional painting. I just confuse everybody all the time. I'm like, no, I mean digital painting, like on a computer. And they're like, well, then it's not painting. I mean, you got me there. Anyway, this is just like a free tutorial. I don't do any tutorials behind paywalls because I feel like I got to learn without having to pay, and I feel like I just want to help people if I can, in any way that I can. If anything about this tutorial is confusing, feel free to join my Discord server. The description should have a invite link to my Discord server. You can join and ask me any questions that you have. I'm extremely happy to answer them. Hopefully I'm not too quiet throughout this. I'm just gonna draw the eyes real quickly. I'm always so messy with my sketches. I'm so sorry. People say that my sketches look clean, and I'm like, yeah, okay. There are so many different kind of eye shapes that you can do. I tend to do something that's like in the middle of innocent and fierce. Sometimes I do a nice innocent eye, sometimes I do a fierce eye. Really depends on my mood that day or the mood of the girl that I am drawing. The eyes that I do are based off of ball-jointed dolls. I'm not sure if you know what that is. They are dolls, but they're like really realistic looking, like weirdly so. They tend to have really beautiful features, almost like uncanny valley levels of beautiful, kind of like realistic but semi-realistic. It's kind of strange. So there's an eye, I guess. It's pretty eye-ish. This is what I would usually draw. I suppose you can also do an eye that is like kind of droopy, I suppose, if you want it to look kind of sad, or the character is like very innocent or something. You would kind of make the side of their eye kind of droop down like that. Oh, she's sad. I'm so sorry. I'm such a dork. Okay, look, this girl's sad. Why are you so sad? Ooh, she's got tears. Yeah, there you go. Anyway, that's just an example of different shapes of eyes that you can do. But for the purposes of this tutorial, we're going to focus on this one. Okay, so I'm just gonna do something based on my skin color, so it's kind of easy. I can just look at my hand if I need some reference. Okay. Doop-de-doop-de-doo. Filling in the background. Okay. So the very first thing that I do is I will choose a white-ish color, not all the way to the top white, but like a little gray in there, because no eye is completely white. We have reflective light all around us, so basically anything that's shining on the eye is going to affect the color of it. So to make things easy, I just go with gray as the first step, though. Okay, so I fill in the whole eye with gray. Not too gray, but just a nice light gray. Yeah, oh, I'm sorry. Ooh, I actually just woke up. But I thought, you know, everybody keeps asking me to do this, so I'm gonna do it. I'm sorry, this is gonna be like 20 minutes long. It's gonna be ridiculous. I'm gonna make a concise version for people that don't want to sit here for 20 minutes and watch me be stupid. Okay, the next thing I do is I merge the gray with the skin color. And I put the eye color on a layer above, because I'm gonna need to play around with that color quite a bit, and I can't have it mixing with anything below it. So my eyes are blue, so I'm gonna do blue. I start with a desaturated color. Oh, my voice is cracking. Whoa, uncrack, please. I'm like 23 for the record. My voice should not be cracking. Okay, I'm okay. Everything's okay. I'm the best at tutorials. Okay, put in the desaturated color that you have chosen, and then erase that weird sketchy line thing that you did. I don't actually like paint over the sketch lines that I do. I tend to just kind of make them dimmer, and then I paint underneath them, and then eventually I just erase all those lines I put down. I know it's kind of awkward, and there's probably a better way to do this, but this is how I do it, and that's why you're here, right? Okay, so zoom into the color, and then press the preserve opacity button, and then we're going to take this. Do you see where my cursor is going? Go to the colors, and I tend to bring it down a little more saturated and a little darker, and then I shift the hue down a little bit, so it's going more into the true blues rather than the cyan. That will apply to any color, by the way. You will choose a different hue because this just adds more realism. I'm going to be using my brush tool from now on, and I'm bringing the density down to 80. Okay, so in this scenario, the light is going to come from this way. Oops, okay. This way. It's coming this way, okay? So that means that I'm going to do this. Half dark blue, half light blue, and then I'm going to do a little circle in the middle. And then I'm going to do a very light outline around the edges. Once you've done that, I use my blending tool and I softly blend it. And there you have it. Next, what I do is I will use a lighter color. In this case, I'm going to do a greenish cyan, and I'll bring it way up into the lighter desaturated section, and I'll put that right there. This is really hard to explain, but when the way an eye works, if the light is coming from over here, then this part's going to be blocked in, and then the light will shine through on the opposite side. So if the light was coming from this way, then it would be the opposite. So this would be the dark blue, and this will be the light cyan. See what I'm saying? See? I'm so sorry. So blend that as well. I hope nobody watches this. Okay, so that looks kind of pretty, right? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to eyedrop the dark blue, and I'm going to make the color even darker. I'm going even more further into that true blue, and I'm going to bring the color down even more diagonally. And here I'm going to basically just outline the pupil, I suppose. There she is. There's the pupil. I mean, you can make the pupil as big as you want. You could make it like, but I tend to make it this size. I get a little messy here. I tend to kind of just, I don't know, messily put whatever colors I think would look good. See, this is why I'm not good at tutorials, because it's just very confusing for everybody except me. There. So that looks pretty alright, right? Let's look at that from zoomed out a bit. Yeah, it looks good. Pretty. Okay. Now the next step is I'm going to take my airbrush tool and make it really small. Very, very small. In fact, I'm going to make it even smaller than that. A little smaller. We're going to use that color that we still have, and what we're going to do is we're going to do spaghetti. Now, this is spaghetti. Just going really fast, doing noodles. But they're all connected. All the noodles are connected. Go all the way around the eye. Whee! Like a spiral, basically. It's very easy. Just, there you go. It's almost like doing a really lazy flower. Then I'm going to select the lightest color in the eye, and I'm going to do the exact same thing again. Whee! I know it looks very messy, but when you're zoomed out, you really can't tell how messy it is. It just looks like nice details when you're zoomed out. Depending on how close the eye is in the picture, you may want to be a little neater about it. And then I will blend it just a little bit, not too much, just to make it a little less rough looking. I'll blend it around the edges a little bit. There. Alright, that looks nice. Okay, so it's starting to look more like a real eye, right? Kinda? I hope so. Now make a layer above the eye color, or the iris, I believe it's called, and add it to a clipping group, and set the mode to multiply. We are going to take the darkest color in the eye, and we're going to make the shape of a flower, like this, around the pupil. You will see why I'm doing this in a second. That looks nice, right? And then around this flower, make some random dots. Just put some dots, I guess. There. Now, blend the inside part of the flower inward, like that. Don't blend the outside, okay? It has to have a sharp edge on the outside of the flower. I'm just gonna blend this very carefully inwards. Yeah, oh, that looks cool. Now, if it looks too harsh to you, you can set the opacity down, and yeah, that looks better. I've set my opacity to 59%, so it's not too harsh. Alright, you can merge those two layers together. Now I'm going to go to just like a cyan, and I'm going to just get a nice light color. The point of this part is just to use a nice light color. And I'm going to very lightly with the airbrush go around the outside of the flower. P.S. I'm sorry if you can hear my computer fans. I put a blanket on top of the computer, so maybe you wouldn't have to listen to them. That's probably bad for my computer. So the little tiny dots that we did, also do a white outline around them. Now remember, this doesn't have to be like precise. You can be like kind of messy about this. In fact, I insist that you be kind of messy because eyes are really random. All these little lines in your iris are extremely random. No eye is the same, honestly. There. So that looks pretty cool, huh? Alright, we finished the iris. Yay! Clap, 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 clap. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to make a layer above. And we're going to go, we're going to take the skin color and then we're going to go, you see where my mouse is, we're going to go diagonally down and to the side to a saturated orange, and then I'm going to make it a little more red because it doesn't matter what skin color you still have red blood. So the shadow and reflection in your eye is going to be from the skin, the inner skin of your eye, which is going to be a red color. So therefore, the shadow in your eye will be kind of red. That's a little confusing, I know. And this may not even be correct, but this is just the way I do it, so yeah. So make a layer above the iris. And you do not have to clip this one because this is just going to be messy. Set it to multiply. And then just kind of messily put this red over top like that. This does not have to be neat because we're going to erase all the messy parts after. So like that. And then blend it. Blendy, blendy, blend. Blend, blend, blend. There. Now it looks a lot more realistic, huh? If you want it to look darker, you can go into Filter, Hue and Saturation, and turn the luminescence down. And then it looks a lot darker. Woo! But you'll want a little bit of red reflection in there. Okay. So now we're just going to erase some of the messy lines that went outside of the eye. Like I said, none of this has to be perfect because we're painting. This isn't precise line art. You can correct all your mistakes just by painting over it, thankfully. Okay, so I know this may seem scary, but now we're going to merge the iris and the red layer we just did onto the skin layer. Okay, there you go. Things are really coming along so far. I think it looks pretty nice. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to we're going to color drop the darkest part of the eye that you can see there. And that gives us like very dark pinky red. But I'm going to bring that into the blues over here. The point is that it's black, but not all the way black and not all the way to the grays. I'm going to use my airbrush tool and I'm going to set the density a little lower, set it to 80. And right on top of this layer, yeah, I am going to paint a black line. I'm going off a little bit because this girl has a winged eyeliner. I wish I could do winged eyeliner this well in real life. Depending on how much makeup you want her to be wearing, I would put thicker black or not so thick black. For the purposes of this tutorial, I'm going to give her a little bit of makeup, just in case that interests anybody. So now that we have this thick black line, I'm going to blend it a little bit on the top. hi, Lolly. Hello. My cat is bothering me. Do you ever notice that your pets always want your attention when you're busy? But then whenever you're, like, not busy, they don't want to have anything to do with you? And now I'm going to use that same color, and I'm going to put the density to, like, 50 on the airbrush, because this needs to be really light. And I'm going to do a line, not on the waterline, but a little bit below it, where the eyelashes would be coming out. Stop it, Lolly. I'm trying to be a professional. I can't pet you right now. Okay. So, there, you've made a line below the waterline of the eye. And now I'm going to blend it a little bit to make it a little softer. I tend to blend all the time. That is what I do. Blending is my thing. That is why a lot of my things look so soft. That's what people comment on. They say, oh wow, why is your art so soft? That's the reason. I overblend everything. Well, I wouldn't say overblend, but blend a lot. Okay, so that looks pretty cool, huh? Tooting my own horn. So we're gonna take this red we have in the eye. I've eye dropped it from this section, and we're going to line the waterline of the eye. This is just showing that there's skin here from the inside of the eye. You're probably thinking, wow, you're so messy. Why are you so messy? I don't know. Okay. And I think that we can probably erase most of this now. Yeah, okay, cool. It looks good, right? Please tell me it looks okay. Okay, so I think the next thing I'm gonna do is the eyelashes. Everybody is always very interested in this, how I do the eyelashes. I actually have a special brush for doing the eyelashes, so I will put that somewhere in the description, or maybe I'll actually have it on the screen right now as I'm doing the video. I'll put it up on the screen for you right now. It's probably there right now. Is it there? I bet it's there. Good job, Savannah, in the future. Alright, so we're going to do some eyelashes. Now the top eyelashes are going to be a little thicker than the ones on the bottom. We're going to start with the top eyelashes. You're going to want to do quick strokes like that. Yeah. Don't put too many eyelashes. Like, I'll show you an example of what not to do and what you should do. This is what I do. If you want to see how eyelashes work, look at a real eye reference. You could look at your eye in the mirror. If you have eyelashes like this, I'm extremely jealous of you. I wish I had eyelashes this long. Okay, so there, that looks nice. Now for the bottom eyelashes, we're going to do this make the brush a little tinier. And for ball jointed doll eyes, they tend to have very long bottom eyelashes. So that's what I'm going to do. Like I said before, I plan on doing a concise version of this tutorial. So if this is too long and drawn out for you and you are yawning and you want to go have a nap because I'm boring you so much. Oh, my stomach just growled. yeah, there will be a concise version of this, so you will not be bored to tears. Okay, so there's the eyelashes. That's how I do the eyelashes. I'm going to show you how not to do the eyelashes. Like, you use a brush that's too big, and you press too hard, and you do just too many eyelashes. I'll show you. The one thing I see people doing is they just do too many eyelashes. We don't have, like, bare fur for eyelashes. We have wispy stuff. Unless we're wearing, like, fake eyelashes, in which case I guess they're pretty thick. You know, that actually doesn't look that bad. But, that's not what I do. Just do this. Okay. So. At this point, I would usually take the skin color and shade with the shaded color to do, like, show that there's an eyelid above the eye. I'm just going to do this quickly as an example. The eye is usually a little concave, meaning it's in the head a little bit more than the rest of the features. So there's shading around here. Okay. One thing that I notice people really like to learn is they like to learn about the highlights on the inner part of the eye. People do this with makeup as well. It looks very pretty. So I make a layer above and I set it to screen. I take a base skin color and I take my airbrush. And I very carefully, or messily in this case, just kind of put some white there, kind of like a point. It's pointing to the opposite side like that. I also put some white along this part here and a little bit up the eyelid there, and then I blend it. Yeah. Okay, and then I will merge that. And right here where the light meets the skin, I will put a saturated version of the skin tone there, because that shows radiosity, meaning skin reflection or color reflection. When two colors bounce off of each other, it creates a more saturated or intense version of that color. That would also apply to the eyelid over here. There. Okay, I'm just gonna do the eyebrow real quick. This is not an eyebrow tutorial, so I'm not gonna go too far into it. I don't think anybody even wants an eyebrow tutorial, do they? Here's a quick eyebrow tutorial. Just do it. Wispy hairs, wispy hairs. We all got them wispy hairs in our eyebrows. Looks like this girl filled her eyebrows in with an eyebrow pencil. Okay, I'm gonna delete the layer that had the sketch on it because there's like no sketch left, as you can see. Now the last part of this tutorial is going to be the eye shine. And this just brings everything to life. Go all the way to white, use the eyelash brush that I had been using, and what I do is I just do quick strokes like this. Maybe some random little dots. Like so. And then I take the hard eraser and I kind of erase in diagonal lines like this. I know it's kind of random, right? And then blend the edges just a tad. This creates like a mirror, not mirror, window-like reflection. Then I'm going to do another layer and do the exact same thing, but it's different. I'm going to do a big blob like this. Cut through it with the eraser like so. Blend the edges. And the only difference with this part is I'm going to turn the opacity down to until it looks good. Oh yeah, great. Alright, there, now it kind of looks like a glass eye. I did forget one thing. Right here, in the corner of the eye, you will want to do a lighter version of that color. It's basically skin, and it's kind of juicy skin because the eye is wet. So you'll want to put a little bit of reflection there. And there you have it. That's how I do eyes, and now you know. If I ever start doing my eyes differently, I'll make an updated version of this video. Hopefully this isn't too bad of an eye. I think it's alright. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to check out my Patreon, my DeviantArt gallery. I have a Ko-fi now, if you want to give me a Ko-fi. I actually drink tea instead of coffee, though. Yeah, join my DeviantArt, join my Discord if you want, to ask any questions about this tutorial, or any other tutorial on my YouTube for that matter. Leave feedback in the comments down below, and I will hopefully see you again soon. Thanks for watching, bye!